Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Long Distance Book Club. I'm one of your hosts, Logan.
And I am your other host, Hannah.
And this week we are going to talk about our February book of the month, which was not sponsored by the book of the month, which is where we picked this book from. And it is Most Eligible by Isabelle Engel. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. That's how I would say it. Isabelle Engel.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Perfect. Before we dive into our February book, we're going to talk about what we are currently reading / have finished recently. And we actually have a special guest joining us tonight.
And it is none other than the woman who birthed me herself, my mother. Her name is Tara. Hi, Mom.
Hi,
Hi,
Mom.
Hannah. Hi, Logan.
So, Mom, let's ask you, what are you currently reading?
Okay, I'm reading right now The Woman in the Library by Sulari Gentil. Gentle? I practiced this name before tonight, but I still don't know how to say it.
Do you like it?
I do like it, actually. It's kind of like a mystery sort of thriller, more mystery, I think, but it's really good so far. I'm only about a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, my mom's a big reader herself. I think I inherited it genetically. I grew up watching her read all the time, so I think I learned by example. So, the cover's really cute of this book that she's reading. It's like a woman's hands that are opening up a dusty library book. It looks really cute. So, if anyone wants to check it out, The Woman in the Library by Sulari Gentle, maybe is how you say it.
Tara, did you bring a lot of books with you to read while you're visiting, or did you just bring your Kindle?
I brought this book, it's a paper book, and I brought my Kindle because I don't know how to access the library for my Kindle, and I need Hannah's help.
Hannah
So yeah,
had
I'm
to
gonna
teach
show
me how
her.
to do that too, so.
Yeah, I walked Logan through it. I'll help you set it up. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, download the Libby by Overdrive app on your phone. Go to your local library, get it set up. It's a big money saver and it's so convenient if you have a Kindle or something of the sort, some kind of e-reader.
Yeah, and you don't have to have a Kindle. Like if even if you just have a phone or anything where you can download apps like a Google Store, an Apple Store. If you get the Libby app, you can. That's where your books will download. Even if you download an audiobook or an ebook, it will all download on the Libby app. So if you don't have an e-reader, it's totally fine. You can have any type of phone. And like Hannah said, it's a great way to save yourself some money. And also, the more books that you show interest in on Libby, even if you don't read them, the more that you engage on the app, the more funding that your local library gets from that. So that's really
Oh,
cool.
I did not know that. Wow, that's super cool
Yes.
actually. Um, so myself, real quick, I am currently reading,
Yeah.
well, I just finished The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, and it completely ripped my heart out. It was so good. It's amazing. If anybody's into crying, I definitely recommend that book. Me, myself, I do not like to cry really when I read books. But it was a 4-star read for me. I really enjoyed it. So, anywho, I'm back to my comfort zone of thrillers, and I'm reading I believe it's called The Unwanted Guest, but it's by Sherry Lapina. She's written a lot of thriller books, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm probably like a little less than halfway. It's kind of giving And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Everybody has some kind of rendition on that book. But I actually am enjoying it a lot. So, Logan, what are you currently reading?
Well, I'm currently reading, and by currently I mean like I'm only on chapter 2 of a little cowboy romance because I'm just not in the mood for what I was reading. Um, but I cannot talk about what I've read recently without mentioning The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff.
Did you finally
Um,
finish it, that audiobook?
oh it finished me. It finished me. It turned into a knife and just stabbed me in the heart. Um,
Oh, that
that
sounds
book
like the
was so
complete
good.
opposite of what I would like.
Yeah, so if anyone hasn't picked it up yet, I love for a book to invoke any emotion in me. Um, and I don't mind crying, but any book that makes Hannah cry, it's almost like it makes her angry. So
Exactly. I'm
she
like, reading this for fun. Why are you making me emotionally
yeah,
distraught?
Hannah does not vibe with books that make her sad. So every now and then she'll give in and read a sad book for me. Um, so Hannah, the next time you're ready to give in,
Oh my
I
gosh.
highly suggest you give into that one. But seriously, it's so good. I didn't know anything about it going into it. Um, which I just really like going into books like that. I don't know why. Um, but it talks about four different generations within the same family, and the dad um is an turns into an alcoholic. So we get to see him pre-alcoholic and then during the alcoholism, and we get to watch his mom, his wife, and his daughter like navigate what that looks like and what their family dynamics look like. And it follows all of their perspectives at one point or another. And it was just devastating. Like, if
Yeah, that
any of you
sounds
follow,
horrible.
it was so good. If any of you follow me on social media, I posted a video of myself bawling my eyes out. Multiple people came up to me at the gym because I finished my audiobook on the treadmill. Multiple people had to come up and check on me to make sure I was okay because I was like dry heaving on the treadmill. So, 10 out of 10 recommend.
Was that a 5-star read for you?
Absolutely.
Is that your first
Unlike,
5-star read? Oh, that was a good transition you were gonna have, but hold that
thank
thought.
you.
Was that was that the first 5-star read for you of 2026 so far, or have you had others?
Oh no, girl. I've had one, two, three, four, five, six,
Oh my,
six.
I'm so scared that I'm like never gonna have a 5-star read again in my life. And I know that that is not true, but I'm so scared because I just can't get past the threshold of a 4 in so long. It's been so long.
Do you remember what the last 5-star book you had was?
No. Is that easy to see on Goodreads?
Yeah, just go. Well, if you know for a fact it wasn't this year,
It
like you
wasn't.
haven't had 26, then just go to your 2025 year in books and just
Oh,
scroll.
that is so smart of you. On Goodreads,
Yeah.
should I do that? Or on Fable, would it be easier?
Oh, I don't know how to do it on Fable.
Me neither. Okay. You know what? We'll come back to it. If I find it, we'll come back to it. But let's go ahead and talk about that transition. Repeat that.
Okay. So yeah, The Bright Years was a 5-star read for me. Unlike The Most Eligible by Isabelle Engel. So I did a little research. We like to be educated here on the podcast. Most Eligible was actually her debut novel, which is why I feel bad about how I felt about this book. Um, Hannah, do you want to try the synopsis or do you want me to?
Yes. No,
Okay.
I got it. I was practicing tonight while I was putting Hattie to sleep. Um, so it follows our main girl, Georgia. Oh, and before I continue, note there are complete spoilers ahead. So if you want to read this book, stop
Yes.
listening now. Spoilers ahead. Okay. Um,
Yes. I
so
would
it
recommend
follows.
it, but go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I would just recommend listening to this podcast and don't just save yourself the time. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so it follows our main girl, Georgia, and she is a journalist and she has decided per her bosses slash friends influence to go undercover on a reality TV show called The Love Shack, which basically picture The Bachelor and that's what it is. Um but yeah, so Georgia goes undercover as a contestant on The Love Shack, and the bachelor is Roland Marchetti, and he's a famous tennis player, but he recently had an injury, but he's trying to come back and compete in Wimbledon, et cetera, et cetera. Also find the love of his life. And then the host is a guy named I kept thinking Thomas Rhett every time I saw his name, but it's not Thomas Rhett. It's well, do you remember his name? Was it like Rhett something?
Rhett Auburn, yeah.
Okay, Rhett Auburn. And he's a famous country singer and he's the host. But basically Georgia and Rhett had previous intimacy the previous year, so they have a history. But she didn't know that he was going to be the host until he walked in the door. Um, so basically, bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Essentially, I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
more to it, but that's pretty much the gist.
Yeah. So Georgia is going on this show undercover, technically. Um, and she is trying to I
Oh
think there
yeah,
was like some drama and
with the producer,
nobody
I
could
forgot about
really
that part.
yeah, nobody could really pinpoint if these things had happened or if they were just rumors. And her boss is like, "You're gonna do this if you want this promotion." And
Yeah.
so she goes undercover and is trying to get all of the dirt on the show that she can. And so she's essentially pretending to fall in love with Roland and make it as far as she can so she can get the most dirt on the show.
Yes, to try to expose like some potential abuse that is going on from like the one of the producers, et cetera, et cetera. I can't remember her name either. It shows how memorable it was.
Yeah, I think it started with an S. Serena, maybe?
No,
No.
that was her boss. I don't know. We'll come back to her. It's a short name, I
Um,
think.
in all, I gave this book 2 stars. I did not enjoy it at all. um, in fact, the only thing that I enjoyed from this book was that I liked seeing the kind of behind the scenes of what would essentially be our like Bachelor.
Yeah.
Um, I do feel like there's probably a lot of drama and like behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. So I feel like that was probably pretty accurate. Like I just know some of those scenes are staged, like they're probably coached a little bit from producers, and I feel like that the seeing the backstage like aspect of it, that was the only thing that I liked. I think that this book was super annoying and
Mhm.
very, very cheesy. Um, which I'm not against. Like, I mean, there are sometimes like Hallmark-esque books that are some people's cup of tea, but this was just not me. Like, I even made a note 50 pages in. I made a note that it is very repetitive so far. She has repeated multiple times that she can't breathe, and I don't normally do blank. Like, she just Georgia, the main character, kept repeating herself over and over and over again, um, which obviously the author is repeating herself over and over and over again by explaining things the same exact way, using the same examples, and it was just really annoying. Like I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I actually completely agree. I also rated it 2 stars. Um, I, like, was kind of interested to see what was gonna happen next, kinda, which is why I didn't and it wasn't, like, a complete piece of garbage, which is why I didn't give it 1 star. Um, but, like, going on, like, the cheese factor, like what you were talking about, Georgia and Roland kept saying, like, certain things,
Yeah.
especially Georgia, while they were on camera, and it was just, like, so cringy, which I understand maybe that was the author trying to, like, poke fun at
Hmm.
reality TV, but it
Hmm.
was, like, so cringy that I kept getting secondhand embarrassment reading what they were saying, and I was thinking to myself, "It shouldn't be quite this bad to
Yeah.
read what they're saying." Um, but yeah, it was and it felt, like, super duper far-fetched, and everything felt extremely rushed. Um, like, even in the part where Georgia and Roland had their first one-on-one date. They went to, like, a hot tub or they went, like, on a like, something I couldn't even tell you, but it ended in a hot tub, and, or I guess it wasn't the one-on-one, but it was just, like, one-on-one time, um, and
Yeah.
the and basically, they, like, didn't have a single conversation, really. It was all, like, influenced by the producers, and it was, like they were like, "Kiss again," blah, 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 this time more passionate, whatever, and it was, like I don't know, it just seemed like everything was so fast in a whirlwind that I was like, I don't know, it just felt extremely unbelievable, which I know it's reality TV, a book about reality TV. Um, but yeah, it just made it hard for me to connect with any of the characters.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't connect with any of them. I wasn't like rooting for any of them. But also a point that I wanted to make was that it felt like Isabel, the author, was trying to almost like put in multiple different storylines or tropes in this book and never like finished it. Um like so Georgia is trying to do this little expose, and quite frankly she's a terrible investigator. Like her field investigation skills suck and they need major work. Because there were so many times where I was like, all right, Georgia, this would have been a great moment for you to do XYZ. Um, or even like, I don't know, there were just so many moments where I was like, this is exactly what you're looking for. And it would have bit you if it was a snake.
Right,
Um,
like any journalist in her shoes would have, like, seized upon that opportunity or something.
yeah, so I feel like like her being an author trying to do this expose was never like fully done. And also Roland is he's recovering to go back to tennis because he what towards ACL.
I don't know, I know it was a knee injury, I don't remember exactly how.
He ends up getting like was it steroids or pain pills? I think it was
I
pain
hon
pills.
I don't know if
I don't know
maybe
which one it was.
they did say it, but I don't remember specifically seeing which one it was, but maybe they did tell us, I don't remember.
I wanna say it was pain pills, but I could be wrong.
I
Um,
I feel like you're right. Regardless, it was something that would have gotten him, like, not qualified
yeah,
to play
yes.
professional tennis anymore.
Either way, he would have popped for something. But they bring that up in part of George's like expose. She finds it out, and that's part of like Roland's story, I guess. But even still, like it's never talked about again. Like we don't ever get that finalized. And what else? Like when they don't let Georgia have her parents come visit us, Georgia talks so much about these parents that have ruined her viewpoint on love because of their messy divorce. And we never see her parent. Like, I just feel like there were so many things that were mentioned and it just was never completed. Like, she never came back around to put a period at the end of the sentence. Like, so many different doors were open and it was never shut.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the same thing happened with Roland's dad. I think he was no longer living, but he alluded to the fact that he was, like, a really bad guy a couple times, didn't he? And then but we never really got, like, a whole lot of clarity on that topic, like, the way that Isabelle Engel alluded to it made it seem like it was gonna be this, like, big thing, but maybe we got a little clarity on it, but I feel like a lot of things were built up and didn't really nothing much came of it, like you said.
Yeah. Even with Brooke. Brooke is one of the girls. She's a contestant and she has a physical disability. That's brought up a couple times. And there are two contestants that are females on the show that end up like they're on the show to marry Roland, but they end up like falling in love with each other. And I just feel like there were so many things that you could tell that she almost wanted to go down this route and it just never got there. So it was just super frustrating. Like we're reading this book and I never felt satisfied at the end. Like
Yeah,
I never got answers and it was just I don't know. That fact alone like made it worse.
right, and then another big thing for me that I had a really hard time getting past slash kinda got past a little bit eventually was why in the world okay, I hate when romance books do this in general, whenever It's like they're just like this immediate instant attraction, and it's like this all-consuming desire that you cannot shake just because this other person is like attractive. And it's like, okay, I understand there's such thing as like being physically attracted to somebody, but like just because they look at you or like just because you're breathing the same air as them, it's like they catch on fire with desire. And it's like, okay, I think that this is a little dramatic. Um and I felt like that's how it was a little bit with Georgia and Rhett. Granted, they had a history, but this brings me to my next point. My biggest qualm with the book was I don't understand why Georgia was so hung up on Rhett whenever like she basically like poured her heart out to this guy and then woke up the next morning he wasn't there and never heard from him ever again. And it's like I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
somebody did you that dirty. Like please have enough self-respect to move on and not give them a time of day.
Yeah. I feel like both of them did that though. Like, um, Georgia with Rhett was like, "Oh my god, he was the one," and then he left, and then all of a sudden she's just like okay with it. But then also Rhett finds out that Georgia was lying about why she's on the I mean, literally she's on a dating show to marry somebody else, and you're just like, "Oh, okay." Like, yeah.
That's
And
fine.
even when he does find out, he's like, "I could never trust you again." And then the next page, they're having sex again. It's like, hello?
That third
I don't
act
know.
breakup was so annoying.
Yeah, like I said, I think the author was like trying to do a bunch of tropes at once. It was like she got the insta love down, she got the miscommunication trope, the third act
Ugh,
breakup.
I
Like
hate the
it was just
miscommunication trope. I know you hate that too.
yeah, all of my least favorite tropes is basically what this book was. Like none of it was good.
I know, and whenever I read I was picking it for my book of the month when I was going through and like reading all the synopsises, um,
Synopses?
synopses. When I was reading all of the summaries, um, I this one sounded so good because basically
Yeah.
all we knew was that there's a girl going on like a Bachelor adjacent show undercover, and it's like, wow, that sounds so cute, and then it just didn't really hit the mark. Honestly, I thought that it would have I thought that it could have been so much better if if you had that same idea, but instead of, like, falling for the host and everything, if, like, if the guy was actually a really great guy and, like, they fell in love, c honestly, so much less messy, actually could have been kinda cute.
So I actually wrote this down so I could mention this. I mentioned it in my review on Goodreads. Um so I love I'm a movie slash TV show girl. I think I'm just an entertainment person. I was never an athlete. I'm an entertainer, okay? Um, but there is a Netflix original movie. It came out kind of recently, but it has Miranda Cosgrove in it, like iCarly.
Yeah.
Um, it's called The Wrong Paris. It's on Netflix, and it's kind of the same idea, except there's nobody that's like undercover trying to expose it. But Miranda Cosgrove goes on the movie or goes on this dating show, because the winner of the dating show not only gets the guy, but also gets like $100,000 or something. Um,
Wow.
she needs the money for art school. So she goes and she's like, I've got to win this money. I'm not going to get into art school if I don't go. And she ends up like actually falling in love with him. So I wrote that down because that movie, as cheesy as it was really good. And so this book had a ton of potential and it just completely missed the mark. It really did.
I agree. That movie actually sounds pretty cute, I might have to check that out. Um,
Yeah, I think it.
what what did you think about Oli,
Oh,
the
her
cuckoo
name
girl?
is yeah, Oli like ravioli.
Exactly.
um, that's the girl that he ends up like actually marrying, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 and she's kinda, like, off the wall, like, lives off
Yeah.
grid. She's like a cheese grater connoisseur.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny because that is not who I was expecting him to pick. Well, technically he didn't pick her, but um I thought it was really funny that she came out of nowhere and was like, "But you're the love of my life."
Yeah,
But
and
I also thought that was a little cringy, like, come on now.
I know, and it was kind of funny. They basically had all the stereotypes of The Bachelor in this book. Like
Yes.
there was the mean girl, there was the kooky girl, there was the girl that got sent home but tries to come back, which is Oli. What else? There's another thing in there that I thought was funny. Oh, in the very end, whenever he was like, "This might just be the most dramatic season of the Love Shack ever," and then she was like, "Don't they say that every season?" And when me and my mom used to watch The Bachelor, I remember every single year it'd be like the most dramatic conclusion to The Bachelor ever, and it's like, didn't they say that in
Yeah.
season 12 and 11 and 10 and 9?
Yeah. Also a point which the show is like dying. The show is dying out, and that's why the producers are like, we have got to make this season good. So they bring Rhett as the host, but Rhett was also the guy. Like, I don't know
Oh
what they
yeah,
call him, but he was the guy. He had his own season like 3 seasons ago or 2 seasons ago, and
yeah,
he got successfully, but it was a failed marriage, got divorced. So whose bright idea was it to bring Rhett as the host of this season's show
I
when
know.
his season was unsuccessful? Like, that makes no sense.
I know, whoever was on the team there to make that decision didn't do too hot. Uh, yeah, he was like 2 seasons before or something, and then they got married. His wife cheated on him, they got divorced, and but before they officially got divorced is whenever him and Georgia had, like, their one night stand. So then,
Yeah,
all that happened.
yeah. What did you think about Georgia, her boss slash friend? What did you think about her role and everything?
Oh, it seems like that Georgia should have cut that girl off a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure.
She was quite she was quite toxicity, if I do say so.
Yeah, I really don't know how she didn't notice it sooner.
I know, and another thing? All throughout the book, in the end, it became this big thing of, like, be more sure of yourself, or he wants somebody that's more sure of himself, more sure he wants somebody that is more sure of herself, and then, like, her friend says that to her too, like, "Be more sure of yourself," something like that, like, basically, it was this big thing where Georgia didn't wasn't confident enough and wasn't, like, sure of herself enough, blah, 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 but, like, I feel like that was, like, only present in the last third of the book, but it was supposed to be this thing that had supposedly identified her whole life, but I didn't catch that at all in the first 2/3 of the book, so that felt like kinda just something that she stuck in there to tie it up all nice and pretty, but it didn't fit for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's just another one of those like loose ends, like the author
Yeah.
tried something and didn't fully send it, so it just didn't work out.
Yeah, so, like, clearly we loved this book. We
I
just
do,
trash talked it the whole time.
yeah, in moments like this where we both didn't like the book, I'm like, man, I hope nobody listens to this episode because I do feel bad that like somebody's bread and butter, somebody is so proud of this book to debut it to the world, and people like us just didn't like it. But I mean, that's the whole point of reading. It's
And,
subjective.
yeah, and, I listened to, like, I listened to a podcast that was talking about this, about, should it be okay to talk crap about books in, like, a public setting? And the person had a very good point because I always feel bad kind of trashing people's work, um, which I feel like it's to a certain extent, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna go out there and start attacking them as an individual, as an author, but, but the girl that I was listening to had a really good point, and she said that this person put their work out there, like, in the world, so I feel like they have to take that. I can't say it as well as she did it, but basically they put it out there so the public is gonna read it and know that we're gonna form opinions and talk about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Huh, I never thought about it that way," because 'cause I've always felt bad, like, trashing books, but there you go.
Yeah. It does it has to take a lot of guts to be like, "You know what? I think I have something special. Let me put it out for the entire world to see." And people may hate it, people may love it, but either way, I'm gonna have to put up with it.
Exactly, yeah, like, "Hey, I did this, and I'm gonna own it, and there we go," and I commend that because you don't see me out here writing books.
Yeah. I can't tell you that I'm ever going to seek out a book by this author again, but,
I agree.
um,
I think it
it was
was
an experience.
yeah, well, I think for me and that's just ha that and, I'm sure some people loved it, um, but for me, I would definitely be less inclined to read a book by her in the future, unfortunately.
Yeah, and, according to Goodreads, a bunch of people did really like it. Um, it was on the, like, Goodreads scale. Its average rating was a 3.52, and
Wow.
that's not terrible.
That's really not terrible, no.
Um, it says, there's our both of our 2-star reviews. Um,
Hey there.
but a lot of people compared it to The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and,
Yeah.
I think she did that very well. Like I said, I liked that drama part of it, but,
Mhm.
it just fell flat for me, and that's okay.
I concur, I concur.
Um, before we wrap up, is there anything that you wanted to add or mention before we leave?
Nar, but I will say, so March is coming up. By the time this comes out, it will be March. Hi, March. Happy spring. Almost. But yeah, so we will have probably 2 episodes released in March. We will do a nice little fun episode at the beginning of March, and then at the end of that episode, we will announce what book we're going to be reading for the pick for the book club pick of the month. How do you say that? For the book of the month. We're gonna be announcing what book we're gonna read together and talk about. Okay, there we go.
Yes. We will pick one out, and if you have any ideas or any suggestions that you're like, "Man, I think I've figured out what Hannah and Logan like. I think they'd really enjoy this book," then please comment on this episode and let us know what you think we should read for March. We would love to read it with you guys, and, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to leave them with.
I know, yeah, that was a great idea. Leave some comments for any book suggestions, book recommendations. Doesn't have to be new and noteworthy. But yeah, let us know what you think. And as always, it is a pleasure. And I'm sorry, Isabelle Engel, that we didn't love your book, but I think that's great that you wrote a book.
Yes. That's just our opinion! Anywho, I hope you guys had a fantastic Valentine's month. We cannot wait to celebrate March with you guys because we're gonna see each other in March, so we're really excited.
The love of my life is coming to me. I read that for you just now.
And we might even record one of our March episodes together in person.
That is a true point that is very probable.
Okay.
Listen, we're not gonna commit to anything, okay? You never know. Me and Logan like to fly
Yeah.
by the seat of our pants, and that's okay.
Yeah, we sure do. Everything's last minute for us.
Amen.
We're the most classic mixture of type A and type B that there is. But we love you guys. Thank you so much to our guest speaker tonight for joining us. And we hope you guys have a fantastic time listening and just reading books with us. Hannah, I love you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Mom. Bye.